Hi everyone, this is Perfume Coast, so welcome to my channel. So today I'd like to review for you two recent releases of two equally gorgeous brands. One of them is Australian brand called Goldfield and Banks, and the other one is British brand Molton Brown. And without further ado, let's jump into the ocean of perfumes. So I'd like to say that both of them are gorgeous summer releases, and that's why I decided to make this review. So the first one in the smaller bottle is called Bluebell and White Strawberry by Molton Brown. And as always, let's take a quick look at the notes. According to Fragrantico, on the top we've got blackberry, bergamot, wild strawberry, galbanum. In the middle there's bluebell, tuberose, lily of the valley and coriander. And finally in the base there's driftwood, whitewoods, amber and sandalwood. So this fragrance to me opens very fresh and cucumbery. So I definitely can smell the watery cucumber / watermelon. And this, ingredients come with a touch of green notes that are not overpowering at all. They're not masculine, but perfectly blended with a bit of fruitiness, I'd say. So greenness here is lended by galbanum, which is among the notes, obviously. And yes, I already can tell that this scent suits perfectly as a summer wear. So while freshness continues, fruitiness gets stronger, and along with juicy cucumber / watermelon, I can also detect a hint of some red fruit, probably coming from wild strawberry, which is among the notes. But this strawberry is really just a hint of, this fruit, and in fact, it could easily be another red berry. I've just noticed that the main word in my vocabulary so far has been a touch of, a hint of, and this is really the case with this perfume. You can hardly tell what you are smelling specifically. It's just a very well-blended bouquet, I would say, which probably is the best tradition of old-school perfumery, perhaps, being this literary kitchen sink of notes that represent unique outcome. But mind you, this scent is the opposite of old-fashioned or vintagey. It's again very excellently blended with, but represents the overall impression rather than dedicated to a particular note. And this impression is juicy, fresh and touch fruity, a touch sweet. It has this association with fresh valley bouquet intermingled with strawberry stems, perhaps with occasional half-ripe berries on it. So there is this driftwood note listed, which normally delivers saltiness, but here I do not really detect one. So in the deep dry down, it's all about freshness and sparkliness, which is good unusual, as normally freshness delivery notes disappear pretty quickly, which is not the case here, fortunately. And that's why the scent is precisely what one needs for summer. And the scent is quite unique, I'd say, so I'll probably be upgrading myself to a full-size bottle after I'm through with this 10 ml size. So next up, in a taller bottle, is called Pacific Rock Flower by Goldfield and Banks. And as with previous one, let's take a look at the notes that Fragrantica is listing here. So what we've got here on the top is lemon, sea salt, eucalyptus and tea. In the middle there's peony, mimosa, tuberose, and finally in the base there's sandalwood, cedar, patchouli and moss. So this one is quite an interesting scent. It is sort of a sequel of the Pacific Rock Moss release of the same brand, which was released a couple of years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So this perfume opens up extremely brightly and juicy, which is supported by a lemon note on the top. There is also a distinct aromatic accord, which is probably coming from eucalyptus. This citric aromatic opening reminds me a lot of BDK release, which is called Citrus Riviera, which I enjoy and have in my collection too. I can also distinctly detect the DNA of earlier mentioned Pacific Rock Moss release, of course. The citric, fresh, and slightly salty touch. The similarity comes especially across in the first phase of this fragrance development, in about 5 minutes after the opening. However, pretty quickly, Pacific Rock flower starts to claim its own features, which is amplified by saltiness providing watery effect and fruitiness as well. But fruitiness here never turns into either gourmand or overly sweet territory. So at the same time, highlighted saltiness never gets overbearing or cologne-like, and I happen to have a very low tolerance to cologne-forward or even cologne-containing perfumes mostly. So trust me, if you're like me, there is nothing to worry about as far as saltiness is concerned. And again, seems like it's not about, how much saltiness is added here, but it's rather about which materials have been used to achieve this saltiness. So apparently here they used the sort of salt-like material which is very tolerable by consumers like me. Another remark is, as far as this fragrance is concerned, that while the name suggests floral direction, on my skin it's more of a fresh, aromatic, slightly salty, fruity direction. Overall, this scent is a strong like for me, especially for the summer season. But I guess I need to wear this fragrance a bit more in order to figure out on whether I need it in my permanent summer collection, including for a reason that I happen to have already some similar DNA perfumes in my collection mentioned earlier. However, if you do not have similar profile in your summer wardrobe, I strongly recommend to test this fragrance out. It's really beautiful. But this wraps up this short video, guys. If you've liked this, please give it a like, please subscribe, please provide your comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.